gigs are a funny thing. They're not something I kind of I look back at after, you know. I mean, we had a great gig in Copenhagen, wasn't it? Roskilde.
That was really good gig, yeah.
That was really good. And we had quite a few technical problems, so it's really difficult to know, you know, what's going to make a gig work, because really, from a technical point of view, it was problematic.
Right.
But it just worked. It was great, you know. It was full of passion. The crowd were great. They were well up for. You know, I think if the crowd are, you know, I'd say we're probably 40% of it, and the crowd are 60% of you know, the success of it. And the other thing is, if you get the set right, you know, I remember we played in Glastonbury just before Coldplay, about 3 years ago, something like that. And we got collared to do loads of interviews. We did stop off at a chippy on the way there, because we knew that we were starving and we didn't want to drink on an empty stomach. So we get to Glastonbury, then we get collared by tons and tons of journalists and people for interviews. And we get in the dressing room. We're like, right. Hurry up, get your in-ear monitors in. You know, you're on in a minute. Literally, it was a minute. Right, okay. Where's the set? What's the set we're going to do? I don't know. I've not done it.
This is second from the bill as well.
Yeah.
This
is second from the bill, yeah, on the main stage. 1 minute before we're due to go on. What do you mean you've not done it? I thought you were doing it. No one asked me to do the fucking set list. Steve, where's Steve? He know me. Yeah. Steve, have you done the set list? No. Why should I do it? I've just been doing an interview. Well, I've been doing it. 30 seconds. Fucking no one's done a set. You've not done a set. We've not done the set, you know. Yeah. So we had to do one quick, you know. Unfortunately, it was a really shit set. It didn't flow very well. So
well, it's not gonna if you only have 30 seconds to come up with it.
Yeah, I know, but the audience don't understand that, do they? You know. But it was a bit of anarchy, you know. I mean, Coldplay is so controlled.
That my life would depend on
it phased us, and we didn't get it right. But in the early days, we used to do that all the time. We used to change the set every single night if we were on tour, and just like 10 minutes before we were on stage, we'd say, "What are you gonna do?" And Joy Division and New Order, but it meant that it was difficult for continuity, you know, because sometimes you'd get it right and sometimes you'd get it wrong, so it's a bit like tossing a coin, but it made life exciting, you know. I think what we do these days is we have about 3 different sets, don't we, that depending on how long we get asked to play for. Yeah, you know. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, is there a kind of fear with festivals that you have to go for your most up-tempo tracks? Do you feel like if you might lose people if you're playing something slower or more considered, or
I think
what's the approach?
Fair point. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, you do, and in that department, we're a bit cowards, really. I think we actually dropped a slow song for tonight. We rehearsed. We've only done one rehearsal, haven't we? Which was on Thursday. We actually rehearsed the wrong set, didn't we?
Yeah, we had the long set. And we were thinking, we're going to be on for really long at Electric Picnic. But then we found out that we've had to shorten the set, so we've had to drop a few numbers. But, you know.
So we've had to drop some of the slower ones out.
The slow ones gone. So.
What about best and worst festival experiences for you? I mean, you've played countless festivals. Worst experience to start off?
I played Glastonbury once, and I had a strange combination of, it wasn't, but let's just say it was lager and wine. It wasn't, it was something else, if you know what I mean, reading between the lines.
Yeah.
And I collapsed on stage, and it was being filmed as well. So I spent sort of the better part of the ceremony when I was flat on my back. I think it was ceremony. I only remember it because it was filmed.
I'll need to find this on YouTube.
Oh no. This is pre-YouTube days, and we don't want to go there. We don't want it on YouTube. It's you know, that was when musicians could have a good time in those days.
Yeah.
Pre-YouTube. Now, you know, you might as well be a monk in a monastery, you know. Yeah, you can't get up to anything these days without it being on YouTube the very next day. Hi, I'm Bernard Sumner, and you're listening to Two States on RTE 2XM.
A lot of the bands that are playing here today, I mean, there's so many bands here that cite New Order and Joy Division as influences, but is there anyone kind of that was a catalyst for Bad Lieutenant, any modern bands that you thought they're setting the standards, I want to write some songs, you know what I mean? Was there anyone that really sparked you again to start with Bad Lieutenant?
Not really for me. I mean, with a history, as I don't mean to sound big-headed with this, but I mean with a repertoire and history as big as I've got, really, that was the influence. I don't think it's anything contemporary now. Okay. I've got to be honest, you know.
Yeah, no, please.
No, I have got contemporary favourites. Absolutely love the Killers. Absolutely love them. Who else do I like? Hot Chip. They're playing tonight. Yeah. Like Hot Chip. Yeah, but it's a weird thing when you're a working musician and you're writing and gigging. You tend not to listen. You put music out and you tend not to absorb it as much as perhaps you should, as much as you used to. It's a bit unhealthy, really. I must admit. You're not as receptive for some reason or other. Well, I'm not.
Well, there was somebody, I think it was Nicky Wire from the Mike Street Preachers. He was in an interview and he said that all the music that he absorbed between the ages of kind of 16 and 22, that's kind of when it matters, and nothing that really comes after ever has the same impact. I mean, would that be the way it is for you?
I've got to admit, that's what's on my iPod, and it's shit, really. It's really shit. I should listen to more new music, but I don't. You know, I'm supposed to be doing some collaborations. One with Hot Chip, funny enough.
Excellent.
One with West Bam, DJ from Berlin.
Okay.
And possibly a track with again to dance at from Berlin called Digitalism. Mm-hmm. But maybe, I don't know. They're just rough plans. I don't know. We've all been away on holiday, so we've not had. We need to have a meeting, the band needs to have a meeting, decide what we're going to do, you know. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, how do those sort of things come together? It's just you meet them at gigs, you meet them backstage, or what happens?
Just have to do it.
Yeah.
And I think when I agreed to do it, I had a drink or two.
Right.
So...
that just gave you courage to go, you know, to try something new, though, didn't it?
Yeah, but if you're committed to do a track these days, it's a lot of work, you know, and... yeah, I'm up for that, but I don't want to do too much collaboration because this is my main thing now, you know. I don't want to do too much collaboration because it takes up a lot of time, and, you know, I'm enjoying working with these guys. In fact, all the gigs have been great. Touch wood.
I didn't know what love was, know what love was, know what love was. When I met taught me everything I need to know. You taught me everything I need to know.
The album took your time with it, wasn't it? It was emerged over a few years, and it was self-produced. So, do you think like the traditional kind of studio setup that's kind of dead? I mean, do you work best when you're just home recording, for example?
Well, I guess everyone home records because it costs too much to go in a studio. You know, if it costs you like £1,000 a day, or you know, or you could buy for £1,000, you could buy all the equipment that you need to record at home. You're going to go, well, I'll do it at home. But it's a double-edged sword, really, because you're doing it at home, you're not paying a studio bill, so you tend to take longer over it because it's not costing you anything. So when you're working in a commercial studio and it's costing you £1,000 a day or whatever, you're like, geez, it's costing a lot of money, let's get it finished, and you don't worry too much about the small details, you know. And sometimes records are better for that, I think. You know, you can polish the hell out of something by getting it to every little detail, you know.
And I mean, Bad Lieutenant kind of Bad Lieutenant, it kind of started with 3 guitarists. So you're saying about kind of making things polished. Did you just have to rein yourselves in with kind of overdubbing guitar parts and that kind of thing?
I think everyone's pretty controlled over that. Jake likes to overdub too, don't you, Jake?
I think Bernard's referring to my double miking technique on everything, which I used to kind of get rid of half of it when I brought in arrangements for him to have a listen to. But
Jake's got this strange engineering technique that only he uses, is that he puts... His understanding of stereo isn't quite where it should be, so... everything...
It's the Phil Spector school of thinking, you know. That's
back to mono.
Well, double mono, I guess. I don't know.
Double mono.
Forward to stereo it is. Every double mono. Everything he records, he uses 2 microphones on it. So say he was recording this interview now, he'd record 2 microphones, and I'd sort of point out to him that's not how stereo works.
Okay.
You know.
Right, you want to get different aspects on it, but it doesn't really work that way, does it?
Yeah, for example, Jay, you wouldn't want a stereo flute because a flute's not a stereo instrument, is it?
Do you know what? I'm sure this is making really, really interesting listening for the listeners. Stereo flutes, that's an interesting topic.
I have to bring that up with Roxy Music.
We'll have to go and check them out later, Bernard, see if they're doing any stereo flutes.
A few small irritating ideas that have wound me up a little in the past, you know, but we're still good friends, you know.
With any band, I imagine you feel a bit like a gang. I mean, is that still the same way you feel about Bad Lieutenant, where it's us against the world kind of thing? Does that still apply nowadays?
No, it's us with the world, really. We like the world. We get on with it, and we get on with each other, I think. You know, it's fun being in this band, and there's no sort of out of control egos and attitude problems in it. You know, me and him argue sometimes, but that's healthy, you know. Let's get it out in the open. It's not we don't hold any grudges against each other, and everything's got out in the open. There's a good vibe in this band. There's a good vibe, and it's fun being in it, and that's the bottom line, really.
And I remember, I mean, I've heard you talk about New Order towards the end. For example, you're headlining like Reading Festival, and you said, you know, you're headlining this festival, there's loads of people there, but just because your heads weren't at the same place, it was just a rubbish gig. I mean, can that be the case? You know, you're in front of a huge crowd, and just because you're not on the same wavelength, it doesn't work? No, not really, because during a gig, the gig is God, you know, and everything, all your personal differences are dropped, really. Well, from my point of view, anyway. The gig is God, and you give it 100%, no matter what. If you don't get on with one of the other band members, or you've had an argument with him or her or whoever it is, that's all dropped just for that 1 hour and a half on stage, you know. So no, it's not been a problem. That wasn't a problem with New Order. Okay. We got some great gigs, really good ones. You can tell me if I'm asking the wrong thing here, but I mean, what do you think of what Peter Hook's doing now with the Unknown Pleasures album? Do you know what I mean? And he's here actually on site today because he's promoting his book. So I mean, what's your take on that? I suppose just, you know, you lived that experience as well, so just get your take on it. I think it's disrespectful to the rest of the band, to me and Steve. Yeah. And
Factory Records, Joy Division, New Order were never about cashing in on, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's disrespectful.
What about advice for younger bands? I mean, you've been through it all, you know. I mean, that's, yeah. If there was any sage words of wisdom you could give from your experiences,
find some way of shutting YouTube down so you can have a good time and have lots of fun without some fucker filming it. But be as bad as you can get away with, you know. Be as bad as you can get away with, and have as much fun as you can, because it doesn't last forever, you know.
What about songwriting wise?
Oh, forget yourself, really. My advice for anyone doing any aspect of music, be it writing songs, playing songs or dancing, is just forget that you're doing it and let your subconscious speak. And that's the way to creativity, really. Don't analyse yourself, you know. Whatever it takes to stop you analysing what you're doing, just don't do it.
That's still your method with lyrics, because I remember in an interview before you said you just get into a kind of state where you're not thinking about anything, the words just come out naturally, and it's never...
That's the trick, yeah. And for me, if I become too proficient, it's on a keyboard, I don't know what I'm playing. On a guitar, I do. On a keyboard, I don't. So every time I come to write a song on a keyboard, it feels like it's the first time that I've written a song, and I feel like, you know, fumbling about on it, and There's a certain naivety. I think people like simple, crude music that's not too clever, really, and you can get too clever. Hi, I'm Bernard Sumner, and you're listening to Two States on RTE 2XM.